Well, hello, Viking fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Viking Talk with Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis, and as always, glad to have with me Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, good to see you.
You too, Brandon.
So a hard-fought 38-21 win last week over Pearl. We head over there and take on the Pirates. Discuss what you saw from the film.
Well, I saw a team that we played the first half. I thought we played pretty good, and third quarter Pearl fought and got themselves back in the game, and then I saw our team probably put its best quarter together in the fourth quarter of that game, and really, went away with the game and got some separation there and put on a dominant performance in that fourth quarter, and a bunch of guys making plays. I think it was our best overall offensive performance in the year. We were over 200 yards rushing and over 200 yards passing. And it was a good night. It was a good night for our offense for sure. And another hard-fought road district win. So, our kids are getting better. And, these district wins are mighty important. And when you get them on the road, it's just another bonus. So I was proud of our performance, proud of our guys handling themselves and handling some adversity. So some good stuff, and very proud of our kids.
You talked about that offense, 450 yards offensively, 200 passing, 250 rushing. That's a big one we want to talk about right here, Coach. That's the type of effort, the 250 yards rushing, that you've been wanting to see out of your offensive line and your backs. What did you see from them in that game against Pearl? After
the Brandon game, we and again, the response to that week has been very good. The last 2 weeks, offensively, I thought we've played very well. That's the type of ball club that we must be to win. And we really challenged our guys there to be more dominant in the run game. And I think our offensive line is getting better, definitely trending upward. You can tell they're getting used to each other and getting that experience in. And I think our backs are running harder. I think Trey Hall has had his best 2 games back-to-back. We've done some more things with him, putting him in the backfield and trying to get him more touches and more touches. EJ has been explosive, and then Debo and Cookie just continue to be solid for us and making big plays. So we feel like we showed what we all envisioned with our offense last Friday, and how explosive we can be. Maddox Lynch is he's such a big part of what we do offensively in the blocking scheme and in the passing scheme, and he's a very big part of that. And so it was good to see what we all knew that we had the potential to become.
We talked about the defensive line last week and the game they needed to have. Defense as a whole, you forced 2 turnovers. You held Pearl's passing game to 165 yards. A lot of that due to the pressure you got from your defensive line. What did you see from their effort against the Pirates?
It was good things and bad things. We've got to be more consistency on defense. We're doing a good job of forcing big plays. We're doing a good job of creating turnovers. But we've got to do a better job of being consistently good, because the teams that we play, when you mess up, they're going to exploit you, and they'll make you pay. And so again, if it's not a misalignment, if it's not a bust, little things like that will get you beat in tight ball games, and we're going to continue to work on that. But I thought our D-line played well, played hard, and again, I think they ended up having right over 100 yards rushing. So it was another good front. Pearl was tough up front on the offensive line, and we're going to see another tough front the next couple of weeks. So that's just the life of the ball, the brand that we play. But I thought they played well. It was good to have Roy back in the mix as well.
Yeah, Pearl did take a 21-20 lead in the third quarter there. Some busted coverages on kickoffs. We had some unfortunate penalties that allowed them to get down the field. But we closed out the game with 18 unanswered points. Talk about the team's effort and the ability to finish that game. I know you had to be excited to see that.
There's a couple times, throughout the year where we have been in some really tense situations. One common thing with all of that is our team doesn't panic. Our team doesn't come unraveled. And they don't start pointing fingers and getting all into that you have to really guard yourself as a coach and as a team and as the culture of your team. Our kids just hunker down, go to the next play. We always talk about picking each other up, and I thought that was exemplified, Friday. I thought that our locker room's really tight. Our program's good at what we do, and when you get in tough times, you really can see that. The Oak Grove game, you can see it's just go to the next play, stay locked in. You can see it when we got in crunch time early in the year with Vicksburg and Germantown. It's just don't flinch, do your job. If we mess up, make a mistake, other guys have got to pick each other up, and we've continually done that in the situations, excuse me, that we've been. And we did that again against Pearl. We were able to put a really good drive together, answer that, get a 2-point conversion, and after that 2-point conversion, I felt like we got all the momentum, and we took it and ran with it at that point.
Well, a huge district win, one that we certainly needed to put in our back pocket. This is Viking Talk. We're visiting with Josh Morgan. Coach, this week's homecoming 2022, and the Terry Bulldogs come traveling over. What can you tell us about this Terry bunch?
Well, Terry will be bigger and faster than us as a team, and they'll be maybe the biggest fronts that we've seen all year on both sides of the ball, and they have playmakers that can really run, especially the offensive skill, and they'll be a big challenge. And they have been another team that's been, consistently getting better every year. Coach Thigpen has done a good job with them. They've always had very talented players, very big players. They are a good-looking bunch with some good players, and he's came and brought some discipline and structure and organization to that program, and you can see it paying off, and they got off to a really good year. I think they're sitting at 4-4, and beat some teams that snuck up on some teams, and they also did the same thing last year. And I know I sound like a broken record, but we're going to truly have to earn this. Have to find a way to win. Try to find a way to battle with them up front, and try to help ourselves in those positions. But a very talented team and a very big team.
Yeah, folks don't know about Coach Thigpen. The structure he's brought to Terry is phenomenal. He's just done a fantastic job with this bunch, and it's been great to see how they've grown. Unfortunate for us to see them grow, but great for them as a program to see how they've grown. They're led by sophomore quarterback Jordan McGee, a young man coach that's their leading rusher. Also, as well, he's averaging over 100 yards a game with 10 touchdowns on the season. What have you and the staff seen from him? Well,
he's their leading rusher. When your quarterback's your leading rusher, that creates a lot of problems. It makes you guard the box, but then you got those talented receivers out there. When you go man coverage, you usually don't have, unless you designate a spy, you don't necessarily have a man for the quarterback, and so they can spread you out, and that's what they want to do, spread you out and run the ball. They have him and a number 4, a really good tailback, big tailback. Both of them are big backs that run hard and athletic, and of course, if you put them behind that massive front, it's a problem, and we've got to do a good job of being very violent and aggressive with our hands and rallying to the ball. But he's done a really good job. Throws the deep ball well too. He can make all the throws, line up on one side of the hash, and throw it across the field. And so yeah, he's got us all a little uneasy, and understanding that it's going to be a really tough ball game, and they're a tough team to defend, and they're also a tough team to run on.
Dangerous rushing attack. We talked about that most of it out of the zone read formation, has 20 touchdowns on the season, a combination of backs. Discuss the zone read, Coach. Why has it put so much stress on a defense?
Well, I guess it's the modern age's version of the triple option, of the veer. If you get misaligned, if you make the wrong read, if you take the wrong step, quarterback has the option of pulling it, and then you can do multiple things after you pull it. You can have your RPO game set up, or you can have screens on the perimeter and things like that. So it really allows you to block multiple fronts consistently. Everybody's got a zone scheme, But when you got a trigger man back there and a very athletic quarterback that can make good decisions, can pull it and make something happen, it puts a lot of pressure on you. So we're going to have to be sound in what we're doing. We're going to have to also be disruptive in our front game, and moving and stunts and stemming and try to disrupt and get some penetration there. And then whoever's responsible for the edge, and we'll have different guys in different situations, whoever's got the quarterback's got to be on point and understand that they have the most important job on the field at that time. So it just makes you be consistently good and disciplined all night long. And, we feel good about our plan, just got to go execute it.
Part of the problem you're going to see from Terry offensively, they'll show you 4 or 5 wide receivers. They're led by number 18, O.J. Marshall, coach, a 6'3", 185-pound senior, a big-bodied receiver that this year he's caused some trouble for other teams.
He has, and I tell our corners, you've seen them all year long. Northwest Rankin had them, Oak Grove had them, Pearl had 2 or 3 of them, and that's what's so fun about playing in 6A ball in a tough district. It's just consistently good. It's just offensive lines are good, D lines are good. You're going to play good skill players, good athletes, good coaching, good environments, and that's what makes it fun. But that's been an area that we have harped on, and we will continue to harp on. But anytime a team can throw it, and you got guys out there that can run and catch it and do something with it after they catch it, puts a tremendous amount of pressure on you. So we've got to do a good job of keeping them in front, but we also got to tackle them, get them on the ground. And again, they can mess up 2 or 3 plays and they hit one of them, and that one can do a lot of damage. So, and that's what I mean, with pressure. It just puts you just have a little margin for error. And so again, got a good plan and scheme. I think our corners played well against Pearl the other night, Cam and Trey. I thought they did well minimizing the big plays. And, I hope they have another good night. They've had a good week of practice, and we'll have some underneath help with them, with our backers, and over the top with our safety. So it's a collective thing. And plus, the number one, the best pass defense is a great pass rush. And so it's a collective effort. It's a collective effort, and we've all got to be on point.
Defensively, let's talk about that for a second. They are extremely aggressive, causing 74 tackles for loss on the season. They're led by number 91, Ty Coleman. This youngster, coach, 6'3", 255-pound defensive tackle. He looks like a D1 athlete ready to go right now.
Yeah.
Talk about him and what you've seen from this Terry defense.
Well, I think he's bigger than 255, watching him on tape. They have several of them that just look identical to him. And when I say big, I mean it. They're big, disruptive, quick, athletic. Fly around to the ball. There's going to be a lot of instances where we don't necessarily know where they are. They're a little unorthodox in what they do. We've got to be on point with what we're doing and our gap scheme and things of that nature. And we've got to be on point with, that we'll try to attack it in several different ways, try to get outside of it in situations and things like that. And the biggest thing that we're going to try to do is keep them off balance, not let them get a bead on us. And again, you saw what that looks like last week with a lot of guys touching the ball, a lot of different formations. And Jack surely has been running our offense very well, and that's what we expect out of him as well.
Yeah, I think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. On paper, Terry's 4-4. We talked about that. 1-3 in region play, but they are very well coached and they play extremely hard watching film on them. This isn't a group that should be taken lightly, Coach. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's we have to guard ourselves all the time in this profession. You got homecoming, then you got a Terry team who's not traditionally, one of the higher tier teams. We've rolled off 2 in a row, and so you have to guard yourself from getting too high. You have to guard yourself from homecoming. You have to guard yourself from your opponent. All those things that you talk about it. They've heard it consistently from everybody in this building, how big this game is. We have not locked up a playoff spot yet. Terry is still in the playoff hunt. Terry has all of our respect, and after watching film, they have all of our guys' respect. So that's really, the opponent really helps you not overlook them. And that's the case here. I mean, we're going to have to play at our best. We're anticipating another heavyweight battle, a dogfight, and we're going to have to be at our best if we want to win. So we have no room to overlook anybody as far as that goes, and our guys know that. And going on that run that we had to make last year, the older guys were a part of that, and they grew up a lot, and that stuck with us. I really believe that. Our coaches did such a wonderful job. The leaders and the seniors did such a good job, and that run is still one of the most coolest things that I've been around, and that stuck with these guys, and they understand the week in, week out approach, the preparation, and they also respect our district and understand how tough these are. And right now, I don't think anybody's eliminated from the playoffs, and I don't think anybody will be for another week or two. That's how tight it is. We've got ourselves in a really good position, but if we want to stay in that hunt, we got to keep winning. And so a lot is at stake, and we've got to be on point if we want to win.
Credit to their coaching, but if you watch film on these guys, teams have got up on them, but they have clawed back and they don't stop. That has to be something that you're impressed with.
Yeah, I'm impressed with them. And like I said, Coach has done a good job over there, and I don't think it's really hard to look to see why, and you know where it's coming from. So he does a good job, and they're only going to get better. And I wish them well, just not against us.
This week. That's what I tell Chris too, and I talk to him. Not this week, but homecoming week. We've talked about this one, coaching. So many festivities. The kids are having a great time. You know, everybody's supposed to have a good time. That's what it's supposed to be. It is a challenge for you and the coaching staff. We all realize that. Talk about how you and this staff have to work to keep this team focused on eye on the prize with all the festivities going on a week like this.
Yeah, being around this situation really all my life, homecomings are no fun when you don't win. And it's no fun when you don't play good, and nobody. It's just so it's all of it's great, but we have a job to do, and we've got a lot invested in this, and this game is just as important as any other game, and we have to understand that and know our role in this. And this is our game. The festivities are for everybody else. We can enjoy them. We can enjoy them afterwards, and want them to. And there's a time and place for everything, and it's really that simple, but it's hard to drive that through. I get that, and all we can do is make them knowledgeable of it, and warn them of it, and bring their attention to it, and shine light on it. But you can have a lot of fun after you win your homecoming game, and we've got to win it. And we've done a good job with that. Our kids have prepared it. It's the first thing we talked about Monday, coming in, addressing it, and so again, it's to beat Terry, we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to play our best, and they understand that.
Well, how have we looked this week in practice?
Had a good week. I think our kids are starting to get really confident. I think our approach is starting to get, the weather got a little cooler, and everybody's got a little bounce in their step. We rolled off 2 big road wins in our district, starting to feel that our team is getting, truly confidence and ready and really getting heated up at the right time. The important thing is go week by week and really finish our district schedule off with a lot of momentum. And it'll start with this week. And I really think that to see the offense the last 2 weeks, the improvement that we've made there, anxious to see us play again and see if that consistency is there again. And looking for our defense to put its best complete game together, and hopefully we can play our best complete game in all 3 phases versus Terry.
Well, let's wrap things up, Coach. Give us the keys to victory beating this great Bulldog team.
Well, we're going to have to get some explosive plays. I don't see us, grinding it out in the run game versus Terry. It's going to be tough sledding in there. Yards are going to be at a premium. So our playmakers are going to have to make plays. Whether it's in the passing game or on the perimeter. I feel like special teams can be a big key for us. I think we can get the edge there if we'll do right and make plays in that area. And then I think defensively we're going to have to do 2 things. We're going to have to stop number 2 from running the football, which is their quarterback, and we're going to have to eliminate the big play from those receivers getting behind us. So Sounds simple enough, but
simple
it's a handful of assignments, and but that's it, and that's what we've been working on. And I'm ready to see these guys playing again. They're a fun bunch to watch. They're getting fun where they're when you get to watch them and perform, and they've been a fun guys to be around in the locker room and on the practice field. And I just hope we keep this train headed in the right direction.
All right, well, best of luck tomorrow night. Hopefully we've got a cool night ahead of us, and maybe this heat goes away for a little bit.
That's right.
Comes back or whatever it is. But we want to thank you for joining us this week on this week's edition of the show. Homecoming 2022. The homecoming court is going to be a little bit different this year, which I kind of like. We're going to do the homecoming court before the game around 6:25, so get here early to take part in those festivities. Tonight we've got the pep rally, the parade, a lot of stuff going on, but the big key is 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We take on the Terry Bulldogs in our homecoming game. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to having everyone from Terry come over and join us as well. Next week we will talk about this Terry game. Then we will focus on the Petal Panthers. Another trip down to the deep south part of the state, to the Pine Belt. But that should be a good game as well. We'll worry about that next week. Firsthand Terry Bulldogs. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the show. I'm Brandon Davis. He's Josh Morgan. We'll see you next week. Until then, rise up, Vikings.